Welcome to the Gentleman's Talk, where the podcast talks about a man's battle with mental health, his personal experiences, and his journey to be a better soul. Hosted by James Dean Littlejohn.
Hi everyone, and welcome to the Gentleman's Talk. As I'm sat here, just finished work, got some music on in the background, trying something new today. Just thought I'd leave a little bit of music in the background, something a bit different, just to, set the mood. Let me know if it's annoying, though. I obviously won't know until you give me feedback, but, let me know if it's annoying. I just thought I'd put something on in the background, a bit pleasant, bit of a theme around that today as well, so it kind of makes it a bit apparent. So here we are, Thursday. The sun has been absolutely beaming, and I think that's probably why I'm a bit cheerful, if I'm honest. I wasn't been a bit of a weird mood all week, if I'm brutally honest. Just kind of ups and downs. Felt a bit low, but I think that was the tail end of the illness. And, I felt a bit, fiery as well, but, almost... Do I want to be that fiery person? I kind of am. I do want to be. It's almost like as if my confidence is building a little bit. But at the same time, I've got to be cautious, because the reason I know I'm fiery is because I've had a few altercations with regards... Not nothing violent, trust me. I'm too old for that now. But, there's people that will have laughed at that. But no, just on social media, because I'm not on social media, but I'm on Facebook, and I always say that I'm not on social media, but you clearly are, dickhead. No. What I mean is I'm not on it. I'm not. I don't. I'm not a regular poster. I'm not really a regular commenter. Nothing like that. Like I said, the reason I went back on just purely Facebook is because I wanted to engage with other people through that medium. And that's kind of opened up a few things today, actually, or the last couple of days, which has been absolutely amazing. So, it's just been a bit fiery. But obviously, as I've been on Facebook, and I didn't realise there's been groups and stuff that have coming up and people that have posted things. And yesterday I made just the simplest of comments, actually. Not that you'll know, but you may know, actually, listening to this. But the... Bravo November, it was called. It's a very famous Chinook helicopter. And it's seen its final days. It's now going into a museum. Now, as the photos were put up of Bravo November, which is, this famous helicopter in bits, ready to get transported to the museum, there were some nice pictures, but it was all obviously in local, new, modern colours, which is the the normal green, cam green or whatever it is. I think it's cam green. It's been a while, it's been a year. And I made a comment because when it got to the end of the photo little montage, I made a little cheeky comment on there saying, I didn't make a comment. I saw a picture of it originally, from the Falklands, and it was nice, and it's proper cam pattern, they call it, which was the old cam then, and it looked really nice. And I made a comment, just a simple comment, and it was quite simple, and I just said it would have been shame it wasn't put back to the cam. Now, I made that comment because I'm not an artist. I don't define myself as an artist, but I appreciate art, and I like to, I like to make things, and I am a little bit artistic, but I don't like labeling myself as an artist because, there's people out there that are amazing, and also there is probably people out there that abuse the word artist. I've certainly seen a few, but it just kind of so I looked at it from an artistic point of view, and I kind of turned around and said, so this bloke comment, quite an oldish bloke, I assume oldish anyway, and he had a glider badge in his thing, which, already I can tell he doesn't ever have sex, because anyone that's a fucking glider pilot, sorry, but, you can't, the fact that they put pilot in front of glider, I don't like that, and now that's a personal opinion, but do you know what I mean? I like things to go fast. Do you know what I mean? I like things with an engine. I'm a bit old school like that. But, you know, whatever floats your boat, whatever tickles your tonsils. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, he put in a whole spiel about blah, 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 and I don't... That was my interpretation of it. But it was a load of bollocks. And I said, oh, well, you're entitled to your opinion, mate, even if it is wrong, haha. I was looking at it from an artistic point of view. And he went, wow. Oh, no. And then I said, I've worked 21 years painting aircraft, and I'd painted the last 3 liveries on the... not the last 3. I've painted 3 of the last 4 liveries that have been, you know, quite famous. You know, they made Hornby fucking models of them, for Christ's sake. Do you know, that annoys me. If Hornby, if you're listening, I've asked you. I painted all three of those Hornby fucking things. They're like £120 each. And you're going to feel the passion here, actually, because £120 each they are, right? So I wrote to Hornby going like, here's some photos of me on all 3 of them. I fucking worked my bastard arse off for this. You know, any chance of one for free, you know, one of each for free. I'd love one. It would go, I mean, I've got photos of all 3 of them in flights. I've got all the catalogue of me doing it. So I'm pretty proud of it. Do you know what I mean? I am actually really proud of it. The first one, 18 Squadron 1, anyone that knows any stories about that will know how I lived and breathed that project. I wanted it to succeed. Somebody will be listening to this podcast still cringing to this day because he knows he fucked up. But give it his dues. He was my best friend. You are listening now. Ears are perked. Even though if you weren't perked, you're a liar. And he did something catastrophic, and it involved me riding fucking lunacy getting back to work on my motorbike after I should have been relaxed. I just had acupuncture and all this. And then stayed there for like 4 or 5 hours to leave it in the hands of somebody else, the final bit, as in like we'd made a mistake, but I stayed there for 4 hours painting it, and I left it with this guy who just said to me, you know, he gives it all the big beans. Again, he's a fucking glider pilot, so I should have known, shouldn't I? Do you know what I mean? And left it to him, and he goes and mixes the paint wrong, uses the wrong activator, and I walked in the morning and it was still fucking wet, and I was like... to the point where I actually kicked, and in one kick as well, not even fucking pissing around, I kicked a double security locked fire door through to get the keys to the paint store to recam it, and I recammed it. This is me at 5 o'clock in the fucking morning. I recammed it, the whole side, re-lacquered it, and we were sticking the stencil on wet. Now, I digressed a little bit there because you feel the passion and shit. And I go back to the passion and why I'm passionate. So I contacted Hornby and went, can I have one of each? I'd love one for my collection. Not even for a collection, just because I fucking did it. And they went, yeah, here's the links. Fucking wankers. You can fucking buy them. I'm like, wow, guys. What a bastard. I literally led the team that did this. So, anyway. I went off on a massive tangent there. Completely lost it. But anyway, like I was saying, getting back on track. Back on track. So anyway, and I knew I was a bit fiercely talking about it. So he... so he messaged, and I went from an artistic point of view, and then he went, well, actually, I'm quite heavily involved in artistic and all this sort of stuff, and I went, all right, here we fucking go. And then this woman pipes in, and she fucking starts piping her gums. So I thought, well, I'm on social media, but I have to be cautious about what I say because of the level I am in my current employment. If I'm seen as doing anything that I shouldn't be doing at my professional level, dare I say the word professional inside in the context of using me. However, man of many masks. Man of many masks. I love that. Man of many masks. That's it. So I just come up with these little things. So, I had to be conscious about what I say. So, and I'm really good with words, and I'd like to. I don't even know where I can drag it. I'll try and drag it up. If I can drag it up. Have I got it on here? Oh no, I haven't. No, that's a shame. I would have got what I said, but anyway. So, yeah, I'd said something, but I said it in such a way that I was like, I'm absolutely ashamed of you. Values and standards. You're literally you're ostracising me and belittling me for my own opinion. What gives you the right and what gives you the self-centered right to comment on my post where I made a comment about what I would have liked to have seen as a personal opinion? And I went spiel on, and, naturally then, because I haven't revolved around, I haven't gone into, like, the normal Airwood. So I thought I'd just go big with words, mate, because I love it. I love talking with words. So she come back with, and I made, I think I did put a quote in there about, because she was wearing an RAF helmet with an RAF suit and then saying winning. And I was like, so she's obviously an RAF pilot. My assumption was, just from that. Good assumption, like. So she put in, I don't give a fuck about your opinion. I'm not in the RAF, I'm a civvy, so my opinion of you is you're a fucking prick. So straight away I was like, oh fuck, okay, I need to undo the RAF bit, because I did put in about being taught values and standards, but I'm not really bothered about it, actually, because anyone knows values and standards. And anyway, so I went in and I went, oh look, have I belittled you and made you feel really, really small? And then went in and basically said, such a shame that you had to resort to playground comments and all this sort of stuff. So, and then she replied with something else. I said, look, I'm pretty bored. No, then matey boy, then he interjected then saying, you started this, mate. And I can imagine that's how he talks. Oh, you started this, mate. And it's what he put in there, and he was like, and I was talking about it, he was like, yeah, well, you sowed the seed of doubt when you said that, you should be in karma. So I turned around to him and I said, look, mate, Jolene. I said, Joel, all due respect, mate, you are boring as fuck. So, please, stop comment. I'm going to leave this conversation now, and I bid you adieu. And I said, thank you very much. So, and that was it. So I'm a bit fiery anyway. So anyway, I've digressed and I've gone on. So that was a little story about how my social media escapades have gone. So I've decided, I've got to be cautious. I've got to be cautious about that. So I've had to just utilise it for what it is and not go searching on it, which I was doing so well at anyway. So, but this week, and I got to Thursday today, and I was feeling like really good, and I was looking for a topic, and I really wasn't looking for a topic, but because I've engaged with a couple of groups, I've noticed a few people saying some really sort of big things. It takes me back, but also made me appreciate how far I've come on. When you see people depressed, and I don't mean this in like, sort of look at them and compare yourself, that's the wrong way of doing it, but the things that they were putting on their posts, because I'm on a couple of mental health things, because I've tried to promote this a little bit, just because, get more feedback and stuff like that. So I jumped on a couple of sites and put the link up. So, have a listen, see what you think. Maybe you can relate. Maybe you want to adjust and use that method. So I put a couple of links on, and then obviously, because I'm in the thing now, I see their posts, and it's quite saddening, really, because a lot of the posts that are being said are posts that I have said, and I've said often, and I've said, religiously, what's the point, and all this sort of stuff, and they were posts that I used to put all the time. So it brought back memories, strong memories, but in a good way, because I was able to sit there and go, well, look at where you are now, James. That was a regular thing that you were feeling, and already now, I'm at the point where this journey has taken me in such a positive place that, I'm growing and I'm becoming who I was, but a maturer version of who I was. Still childish as fuck, don't get me wrong, I'm still childish, and I always will be. I don't care what anyone says, I'm a child, but at heart, but for me personally, it's about I'm growing. I'm actually thinking positivity all the time, and this is kind of winning for me. And I kind of I'm enjoying it, because whereas I used to post those sort of posts all the time, doing these little things that I'm doing all the time now and re-engaging, and I've got so many positive ways of looking for stuff. And I do get low, and I do get, like I said, the start of the week I wasn't the best. And then I just kind of went, no, get out, go for walks, James. And I've been walking 3 times a day now with the dog, and it gets me out every time, and I love it. It's amazing. I've got this exact routine that I've done now every single morning, and I've been doing it religiously every single morning. And it's led to a couple of really, really important things that I want to talk about today. And this is kind of like takes me onto that well-being topic. And that's what I want to really talk about. Because well-being is about, it's not just about positivity. It's not just about negativity. It's not just about the adverse effects and the stress and stuff like that. It's about looking after yourself. So all these things that I'm doing now are stuff that I'm doing to look after myself. So I know that I wake up with a routine now every single morning. I have a fruit shake every single morning. I go for 3 walks a day every single day. Do you know what I mean? And they're all things that are just well-being. I've even, like I say, I do yoga, I do the meditation, I do the reflection Sunday. These are just things that I'm just doing for myself. I'm not doing these to anyone else. I'm not even care if people visibly see me, because they're not going to visibly see me, because all these things I'm talking about on a daily basis are all things that we do on a daily basis anyway, unless of course you don't shower, and then I don't know what to do in that time that you would shower. Maybe go jump in a lake. If you haven't got a lake, I don't know. I could go on forever with this, but I'm not going to. So they're just things that you do. I'm doing every day that you should all be doing every day. But at the same time, we don't do those extra little bits. Like I don't go for a walk 3 times a day, so I've incorporated that. I don't have a cold shower, but I do now. I don't have a fruit shake every morning. Sometimes I don't have it, then I'll have bread, and I'm just, sporadic. And it's really weird, but like I'm having fruit shakes and a certain fruit shake, and it's actually helping my digestive system to the point where I'm becoming regular again, dare I say it. Don't, cringe at that. But, this is men talking, so, and we all talk about farts and shit. I mean, Christ almighty, we had a party on Friday, and we were just talking about it. We jumped on a website, because we all said, do you remember in the 90s, where that, was it 90s? It might have been 20s, actually. It might have actually been a few years ago. I don't know, I'm 40. But he said, do you remember that website? And I was like, what website? He's like, Rate My Poo. And I was like, there was literally a website called Rate My Poo. And there was Rate My Girlfriend, Rate My Everything. It went, and you can imagine, Rate My went to everything. So just add Rate My into whatever you want, and I'm sure you'll find a site for it. So anyway, we were talking about it, and it sort of sparked that conversation, and we're talking about Rate My Poo. But anyway, I digress massively there again, didn't I? So, but I'm just talking about like well-being, and it's just about how like all these little things I'm doing, I'm nurturing. And I'm consistently doing, and that's what I spoke about in the last one. It's consistency. When you drop off, you are going to notice things, because you can't drop off these things, because what you need to remember is these things of what got you to where you are thinking, you can drop them off. If you keep them up, it becomes a habit of life. And that's what we're trying to nurture is the habit. Keep that habit going. And if anything, what it's done, it's just growing arms and legs. The more positive you feel, like... It's almost like my banter's coming back again, which is great, because it has been gone for years. And, to the point where it was fluid for me. I used to just absolutely love it. And I see myself today becoming who I was, because I'm doing these things all the time. And what it did, right, and this is where, like today, so, I'm very lucky in the fact that... I'm sort of my own boss now, and I work on flexi, so as long as I get my core hours in, and with this flexible working now, I think everybody in this world should try and adopt some sort of flexible work. And I appreciate there's trades out there that can't, and don't get me wrong, I've been one of those trades, so I understand it. But for me personally, this flexible working thing, what I did today, so I was sat there, and it was a Thursday, and I was feeling a little bit lethargic, and I'm not lying to you. Yesterday I yawned all day. And I've got like a full course week next week. And I've got a few things hanging over my head, like I failed my first assessment on my liability and insurance health and safety thing, level 6. I'm not lying to you, it's pretty tough. I'm not a lawyer, but it completely takes you away from a personal liability and insurance, or something it is. It takes you away from health and safety, and I'm not going to bore you. But what it does is it takes you into law, but you need to know law to transfer the difference between health and safety and law. So I was sat there, and I did naturally fail. Not drastically, but I I put the reference to a punishment to the wrong context. Anyway, so I failed. So it's 50 quid to resubmit. So I was a bit pissed, to say the least. So I've ignored it for a month, and then all of a sudden, right, and this is no word of a lie, I was sat here for the second day. I was yawning. I was like, fuck, I need to see some people. And that's the negative to working from home. You don't get to see people. I was like, I need to see some people. I'm having like my morning banter and stuff like that. But I sat there and I went, do you know what? I feel frumpy. I feel shit. My beard's all over the fucking place. You know, the missus has dropped a couple of hints that I look like a hobo when I was like, okay, maybe I am. But I didn't see it because my hair was like a microphone. I haven't been gelling it because I'm at home. Do you know what I mean? I'm wearing joggers everywhere. I'm not looking dapper. But then you don't look dapper because you work from home. You're not going to put a pair of trousers on and shirt to come into your outside office, are you? So you lose that a little bit. And so I went. It was fucking. I think it was looking at the clock about 8:15, 8:20, and I went. Right, and I looked at my flexi sheet and I had 13 and a half hours flexi, and I went, okay, well, I've not got anything on major, I'm just doing course prep, so fuck this. And I jumped in my car and I went and got I went and paid £25 for this fucking Turkish guy to give me a head massage, a haircut, a beard trim and reshape, and nose wax and an ear burner job. And he doused me in this aftershave, and I fucking went to pay, and I gave him the 25 quid, which, you know, there might be people saying, fucking 25 quid, and there might be people saying, well, actually, no, when you think that, like, you know, women spend, what, 70, 80, 100 on fucking haircuts to get a colour and a fucking dye, I'm spending £25 to feel pampered, you know. You get a little neck massage, you get a fucking head massage, they burn your ear hair, they fucking wax your nose, a full fucking like hot like towel on your beard to soften all your hair up while they trim it, and it goes. Honestly, it feels amazing, like proper well-being, mate, proper well-being. And I went in there and I said to the guy, "It's 25." I said, "Oh, how much for one of these powdered gel things? Like, I wear this powder stuff, and it makes it matte and fucking gives it texture, some shit like that. You know, I am vain." And he went, "No. Free, just take one. And I was like, what a fucking gentleman. What a gentleman. You know, £25. Good fucking chat. I felt fucking amazing. I went straight out and got myself a bacon butty and a Lucozade. I fucking cruised home. I was home by... I was there... I left here at 8:30 and I got back here. Just gone 9:30, actually. Because he opened at 9, the first client. No, was it? No, it was 9:45. So... And then I sat here and I went, fucking brilliant. I felt amazing. I actually walked around with a spring in my step. And so I sat down and I went, you know, back to my diploma bit. I went, fuck it, I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to try and have a go. I'm going to try and this was like, we're talking 5 weeks ago. So I'd asked for feedback from the tutor to help me. And he can't give you much feedback. But he gave me feedback via telephone. And then about a week later I said to him, can you send it to me via email, because I'm a dick, and I didn't do it as quick as I wanted to do it because I've put it off. And I got it all. So got it all back and everything else, and transferred it all across. Sat there and fucking smashed it out of the bag. Whilst talking on the telephone, I had a couple of telephone meetings whilst I'm doing it. Because I felt amazing. I really did. And, like, you know, I took a couple of selfies because I'm vain. I like that shit. And put a couple on my Facebook just because I was like, I felt good. I felt amazing. I think you should. And I got some great comments. And also, one of the guys I've recently engaged with, old Zipster, he's full of the bands. He is full of the bands. And he's such a happy guy. He really is a happy guy. And I'm so glad about where he's got to as well. And he was making some comments, just bringing that banter back into my life. So I sat there, I felt amazing. I completed my diploma. I paid the £50. Not the completed diploma. I completed that section again. I ran through the whole thing. Like, literally had to completely reconstruct it, add some extra bits, and realise where I'd gone wrong, but explain why I'd gone wrong, because I needed to rejig it all. So, don't get me wrong, it was, you know, pretty intense and pretty fucking boring. No, but smashed it out of the bag. So, and it got to like, like 4 o'clock, 4:15, and I was like, yeah, and it came back saying, yeah, you can add your resubmit it straight away. And in that time, I'd been doing course prep and watching a couple of stress videos. And yeah, just fucking. So I sat there and I finished my day. So I felt amazing. Finished my day, went outside, thought I need to do the flashing on my fucking conservatory. So I jumped up on there, sorted out the flashing, sorted out the guttering that I said I was going to do at the weekend. I was fucking do it now, mate. Don't be a dick. And then literally went straight back in, got a drink, and came out and spoke to you on a podcast. And I don't think I would have ever done that without feeling positive every day. Now, where does the positivity come from? Well, everything I do now. So, like, I get excited when I wake up in the morning because I wake up in the morning and the first thing I do is I go outside and I chat to my mates. And, I walk the dog and I go like, mid-morning. And I chat to fucking two of my best mates and just literally sit there and we bounce it back. And even to the point where last night, one of my mates is ill. And I messaged him. I messaged him, night mate, hope you're feeling fucking better, get some rest, plenty of hydration. Well, it's just natural care, because I'm caring about him, he's caring about me, it's well-being, isn't it? And I sort of nurturing this all the time, and even to the point where, like, in that message this morning, which is absolutely fantastic, my best mate, he doesn't really, he's more of a, what's the easiest way to put it? He's more of a yes man, not a yes man in a negative way, but as in, like, I'll normally suggest stuff, and you've got to be careful how you articulate these things, haven't you? Without seeming negative. I know he won't think that, but everyone else. But well, fucking hell, don't talk to me, mate like that. But no, it's not that. So yeah, he's more of a sort of a kind of a yes man, in a good way. So he doesn't normally suggest things. He normally just goes, whatever the fuck you want to do, mate. I am all in. We will do it, and we will take the fucking world. Almost like not Ren and Stimpy. Is it Ren and Stimpy? No, yeah, no, not Ren and Stimpy. Who are those two? Pinky and the Brain. It's almost like Pinky and the Brain. So, like, obviously I'm going to be the brain, buddy. Sorry. And he's like Pinky. So I'm just like, and what are we doing today? We're taking over the world. You know what I mean? And he'll just be like, yeah, fuck it. I'm just coming along. So it is like Pinky and the Brain. And he messaged me this morning. And he was like, we were just, he's normally, he reckons he's 70%. He just functions at 70%, which is hilarious. And, yeah, he made the suggestion, hence the reason why I've got a little bit of music in the background today. He said yesterday he was listening to me. I mean, I listen to music all the time. I think we don't really unlock the true potential of music, how much it can really affect your emotions. And he basically said he'd sat there doing a really mundane job. I know that job very well. Sat there doing that job and listen to music, just listening to 90s music, real classic, just 90, and you could see the excitement in his voice, even at 7:05 in the morning. He had the excitement about, even he had the excitement in his voice over what he was going to do, almost to the point where I could even tell he was like, I'm so invested in this, it made me feel amazing all day listening to music, and I've done the same, like I said the day before, and the other podcast. I listen to music all day, like just literally like I am now. This is what I've been like all day. Just chilling, just relaxed, because you're not thinking negative thoughts. You've got music in the background, you're picking up lyrics, takes you away, you're actually enjoying the scenery, and you're focusing on your work because you're not being like literally constricted by negative thoughts. You're not allowing the negative thoughts to fester and grow and almost turn your brain black. You're not allowing that. And this is what this is all about. We are just constantly pushing for positivity. And like I said, every morning I wake up and I know I'm talking to my two mates, and it's amazing. And then through the day we bounce off of each other and we're looking after each other. Like one of the guys, he wasn't very well. Dude, rest up, mate. Even to the point where we physically said to him, he would have carried on going. I was like, no, you need to stop, mate. All right, please. And that's nice because you're being told, just chill. Like in the same sentence, he referred back to how I put myself under the stress of you know, them coming round. And he was like, dude, you don't need to do that. And even he said that in a voice message in the morning. Obviously, listening to the podcast prompted that. You know, I get that. And he turned around and, you know, said, sort of, don't worry about it. And I was like, yeah, I will. I will until we, you know, until we get to properly know each other and kind of, you know, sort of kind of you make that assumption that, yeah, don't worry. Like I say, you know, I've known my best mate 29 years and I still worry about that. So I think it's just one of those things, maybe not to that level. And yeah, so it's really important to have that and nurture that, you know. So, and that was one of the things, you know, and on that note as well, you know, that talking about him and his illness, it was really important that I was able to offer him some assistance as well. So he recently started therapy, and that was on the back of this whole podcast and how it became about. And he sort of kind of engaged and listened to me, and I was like, he suggested it, and I was like, dude, you need to do it, mate. You really need to do it. And he did, and he had his first therapy session this Tuesday. And I asked him on the night, you know, how'd you get on? Because I know what it's like. I've done therapy, and every time, well, the first 15 therapy sessions I had therapy and then went straight back to work. Now, if anybody's had therapy, they'll know how much it takes out of you. Now, I just functioned, and unfortunately with that, I never dealt with it because I never spoke to anyone about it. No one ever came up to me and asked me. No one said, oh, we've been to therapy. I went off to therapy on Tuesdays every other week. And I came back, and just everyone would just come in and go, "Oh, dude, what do you want us to do now? Or should we go home?" Like, yeah, dude, it's nice, but inside I was literally fucking crying my eyes out because I spoke about an abundance of stuff and dragged up so many memories. And I'm not asking for I wasn't asking for them to know, but it's really important that was a key part that was missing for me. Was when I dragged this up with this random person, I had no one to talk to afterwards because no one wanted to listen to me. Nah, that's wrong. Actually wrong. I retract my statement on that little bit. They would have listened to me if they'd have probably known. And this is where I'm talking about how men don't talk. It's like a whirlwind of stuff, you know, that we're talking about today, but it's like that's probably the reason why men don't talk. So I didn't walk through, and I think women are a little bit more in tune with that. I think that they know that, Betty's gone to therapy. Why am I talking American? Fuck off, James. Anyway, I can't do a female voice. But you know what I mean. Like, Betty goes to fucking... Betty as well. What sanctuary am I in? Ugh. Alright. Jasmine, you know, we'll take it to porn instead. Jasmine is, gone to therapy. And, I don't know, Tallulah... or whatever, some proper names, you know, she's like, oh yeah, is she nice? And then when she comes through, there'll be fucking coffee and cake and everything else, and you'll all talk about it. How'd you get on? What you talk about? Oh yeah, Dave's a bastard. Yeah, Dave's and I'm not saying, it's probably because men are bastards, so I'm assuming that the conversation in therapy would have based on men. Probably right, but I get some backlash for that. Probably somewhere along that line. This will offend someone anyway, but I'm not really worried. Whereas men don't do that. Like, I went and had 38 therapy sessions where it dragged up right the way back from, being bullied at school horrendously, being violently bullied, mentally and emotionally bullied. You know, it went through all of this stuff. It went through my my fighting days at school, went through my career, went through everything. Like, literally, they broke me down. Now, when you do, and as well as dealing with the breaking down of the accidents, EMDR therapy, all sorts. I mean, literally, like, my mind was crazy. Now, 38 therapy sessions, and I'm still dealing with it now, just goes to show how intense it was. But all I wanted to do was come back and just talk about it, and someone just to real listen. Do you know what I mean? Just sit there and go, fuck, dude. Or, how'd you get on? Do you know what I mean? And, you know, just take me for a pint. Or, you know, let's go for a pint and a meal, mate, because, you know, what is a pint and a meal every other week in Wetherspoons? I don't know, £6. So what's 12 quid a month to talk to someone about it? Do you see what I mean? And I think that's what we forget as men. We think that we're strong enough to just deal with this, but what we don't understand is we need therapy, because therapy will help us. But at the same time, to deal with therapy and not have a support network and everything else and all the other things, you're fucking screwed, aren't you, really? I know, because I know firsthand that I was at 38 therapy sessions because I didn't have a really good support network, or I wasn't very open, should I say. I had a good support network, but I'm not very open. I shut down everything. Like, this is chalk and cheese for me from what I was. But I've recognised that, and this is why I'm talking to you all the time, because the talking is so important. It really is important. And, you know, once you start talking and you start when you start removing the negativity from your life, when you start meditating, you start looking after yourself, you start incorporating well-being into your life and actually looking after yourself, then go and get therapy if required, because you've established you've got a problem, with the support net that you've already established around you. You know, you're going to grow and you're going to be able to talk to them people, because you need to instill trust for them to understand. Some people will never really understand the depths and the level of depression and how to talk about it, but you don't really need that. You just kind of really need somebody to listen, really, and just go, fuck, should we do a shot over that, mate? Do you know what I mean? You kind of need that, because that's how men deal with things. But recognising you don't want to go too in depth with alcohol, because you've obviously brought a lot of stuff up. But it's a fine balance, isn't it, between in well-being. So, and this is where, you know, I'm not really involved or talking much about therapy at the moment, because, you know, it's a big topic, and I want to talk about the well-being factors and nurturing, and, you know, this is what this journey is about. And I'm giving you the positives. Yes, I have negatives, and I have days where I don't want to fucking exist, but they're becoming less frequent, or even not even as less frequent. They're becoming less intense, because I'm using these coping mechanisms to deal with that. Like this morning, I recognised I was feeling shit, and I went, well, what can you do to make yourself feel good, James? And you're like, fucking go get a haircut, mate, every time, buddy. So I went and got my haircut. You know, you might want to go and buy a pair of trainers, or, you know, you might want to go and buy a fucking pair of shoes or a new shirt, whatever, some aftershave, you know, fucking game on your Xbox, whatever you want to do, you know. It will be that bit of that well-being, that reward and well-being that you need. Obviously not to the point where you want to put yourself in debt or anything like that, don't be silly. But it's just a case of just nurturing those side of things, you know. And like I said, you know, all of this is incorporated, and my mate he's listening to music daily, and he listens to podcasts all the time as well, so really in tune with that side of things. And my other mate, you know, he's sort of smashing it out of the park, and, you know, you can see the positivity grow in him. I did say in my last podcast he's still got some way to go, but that's not in a negative way. That's in a way that, like, that's what we're here for. We're here to help you now go that next step. You've gone in. But I said to him, because he wiped himself out on the Tuesday night after the therapy, I think, and I said to him, I know why, because you've not spoke about it. And he said his wife was probing him not probing him, but, you know, wanting to talk. And he said, no, I'm not really dealing with it. You know, there's a lot of emotion. I'm like, no, you need to. You have to talk, buddy. This is what this whole podcast is about. It's about talking, because if you don't, you've already proved in the past that you've had the event that's caused your PTSD, and you've not dealt with it, you've suppressed it, and it's got you to where you are now. So you're just going to redo that cycle. What you need to do is let it out, and that's proofs in the pudding, because I never let it out, and I never spoke, and I harboured it for, you know, 9 years, and here I am now, trying to make myself more positive, and I'm trying to nurture positivity. And literally, I did a little mini experiment this week, where I tried to re-engage with an old friend, and it was very negative, let's say. And I actually purposely went out to be as positive as I could, and as open and as honest as I could. And the response was very negative. And in the end, I actually went, okay, right, this isn't ever going to work. It's proven there's, you know, too much animosity here. I said, do me a favour though, and please just delete my number and block me, and I'll do the same, and we'll never be able to correspond, because there's, you know, 1 in 90 million chances that we're going to unblock each other at the same time. Now, that might sound a bit I don't know, feminine and a bit weird. It's just how I dealt with it, you know. Laugh away. It's just how I dealt with it. It was just like, yeah, fuck it, right, you know, because you know it is what it is. But it was kind of like an experiment, you know, and it did. And do you know what? That kind of probably made me feel a bit shit at the start of the week. But here I am now, like, fucking, I'm so glad. Honestly, I really am. And it was just proof for me. It's like I said, this is a constant journey. This is like, I'm constantly trying and testing things. I'm trying to see if I've got any interest in that. And I have obviously got interest. I've got a lot of interest in everybody. But it's one of those things where I want the same back. I want the same, you know, I want them to be as involved with me as I am with them. And that's a two-way streak, you know. So I've just kind of been managing that, really. And it is an experimental process. Like I said, you know, I've done this certain process of my well-being every day this week, and I felt amazing. And here I am on a Thursday talking to you with a haircut, fresh beard cut, feeling amazing. Smashed my assignment out the order, out the park, and uploaded it, as well as doing my own work, as well as doing course prep. Just that kind of, I'm getting to the point where I'm multitasking. Now I've got to be careful, because I don't want to burn myself out so that tomorrow, you know, I'm exhausted, which is, what I tend to do when I get on a bit of a high with life. I tend to just go balls out, and it's at 40 minutes every time. I tend to go balls out, and then I burn myself out, and then that's what exhausts me. So I need to be cautious. But again, this is where I'm learning. I'm still learning about my body and my mind. But because I'm doing it every time now, and I'm doing it often, it's actually working. And I'm surrounded by amazing people. You know, like I say, re-engage, and I've got another friend I've been another friend that I'm talking about. I went shooting with, and I'll chat to him as well, you know, but I'm actually invested in chatting to him, whereas normally you just chin some people off, don't you? You know, not in a negative way, but I'm actually texting the people that I want to text, because I know I'm getting a response back, and it's positive, and it's like, you know, I don't know, it's really good. Like I said, I had some great feedback from my one of my friends, new friends, old Zipster, and he turned around and said, yeah, your West Country tones are very relaxing, and I was like, thank you, you know. But and I get that. I get the I've got a bit of a deep voice, and I'm like, a bit deep voice. No, I've got a bit of a deep voice, but it's just positivity. I'm smiling now, like, just because I'm surrounded by people that care about me, and because I'll always care about people. I always have done, and I'm always invested in people. Like a reason I felt like disheartened a little bit this week as well, to show you how invested in people are. There was a friend of mine that I didn't know him very long at my last employment, and he's going off to Australia soon. So I made him a cheese board just to say, you know, we didn't really engage much, actually, to be fair. But he offered me out for a coffee, and I was like, mate, you're a nice guy. And we came in, we chatted about yoga, and we chatted about, you know, the gym and all that sort of stuff. So kind of like, you know, I could just see he was a good guy. So I made him a little cheese board because he was off to Australia, and I was like, I took around a patch I designed as well, which was like a fake taxi one. It's hilarious, and I asked my dad to drop it off to him. I said, "Oh, can you drop it off?" And he went and dropped it the next day. And that was a week ago. And unless my dad hasn't done it, which I don't know, I might actually have to check. But I hadn't had a response back. You know, not even like a dude or thanks. So I'm just maybe my dad hasn't gone into work yet, because maybe he had Rones. Maybe it's still. No, he's been in work. He's been in work since Wednesday. So if he has, and he's dropped it off, I'll be a bit pissed that I never got even just a thank you would have been nice. I'm on Skype every day, I mean, the same as him. Anyway, and that's where sometimes, dare I say it, I know for a fact, in a sense, that probably would have been a bit of a, you know, one-sided. No, is it one-sided? I don't know. I don't want to be too early to be negative. I don't want to be negative. We said it was like a one-sided friendship, you know, and I'm pretty honest, because, you know, I think that you need to get value out of your friends, and I don't mean that and like put a price on it, but I'm really invested in people, and I'm really invested in, you know, progressing with life. You know, I'm sat there, you know, doing stress management and all sorts, because, you know, I'm trying to constantly, I'm on a mental health in workplace seminar, like 280 quid, and I've asked the company, and they're going to pay for it. So I'm going to go and watch going to London for a full day seminar on this. So that's how invested I am in mental health, that I want to constantly know what the, you know, what's happening, what techniques are people using, and try them out, and then pass them on to you. You know, this is what this podcast is about. And I really think that well-being, and I wanted to give you just so you know. So I was Googling it earlier, and so well-being, where is it? So well-being is defined by the Oxford Dictionary as the state of being comfortable, healthy, or happy. And then caveats it with, however, it is important to realise that well-being is a much broader concept than moment-to-moment happiness, and it is. And this is where, so you look, that's the Oxford Dictionaries, the definition of it. But as I've literally explained to you for the last 40 odd minutes, is, you know, it's more than that. It's about taking that time. Like, I know that some people don't have the ability to just up and go out and get a haircut, which I don't believe, because I think that any rightful employer, if you said you wanted to go and get your haircut because I want to feel good about myself, they'd be a pretty shit employer if they didn't. And if I was a boss and someone came up to me and went, you know, I'm feeling the shit, I'd have gone, dude, go and get your haircut, mate. Make yourself fucking feel good. Tighten yourself up, you know, because when you look good, you feel good. It's like when you lose weight. If you feel good in your clothes, you feel amazing. So you you promote positivity, and also you bring out an aura about you and a bit of confidence, you know, when you feel good. Like I did. I felt slumped, fluffy head, microphone hair, didn't really care. Microphone hair, didn't really care. I don't know why. And I'm sat there and I'm like, fuck. And then when I came in, I was like washing my hair. I bought a bit of really light brown beard dye just to get rid of some of the grey at the front, and yeah, just trim my eyebrows, you know, did the full work. I had to fucking wash my hair, put a bit of wax in, mate, and I felt great. But even kept my jeans on all day, you know what I mean? So they're going down to me pants, mate, 'cause I'm working from home. So it's just explaining that, like, there's so much more to well-being than just the definition of being happy. You need to nurture happiness. You need to be surrounded by happiness. And it's really important to be surrounded. Like, you know, there's me thinking, oh, God, I've got a real small network of friends. And I have, you know, relatively compared to some people. But, you know, it's nice to see it grow, but grow with positivity. It's nice to see it grow with people that are interested and valued in you. You know, I know for a fact that one of my mates I went shooting with, we're going to, in the next couple of weeks, we'll go shooting again. Another guy that who used to work with on my last unit, you know, he wants to go out for a beer, and I'm like, I'll go to Andover, and yeah, I'll go for a Friday night, and what I'll do is I'll tie it in with going into town, and we can meet my best mate, and we'll have a couple of pints in town. So it's like, you know, you sort of kind of, you do expand, I mean, once you've been scorned, you know, you do tend to be a bit reluctant about how you motor forward. But I think that when you're a positive person, you tend to draw positive people to you because, oh, he's, you know, some people are drawn to you because they're like, I want to be that guy if he's positive, and I get that. But if you're willing to work on yourself and you're willing to help yourself by doing these little things, these little changes in life, and making them a permanent habit in your life, because you can see the positivity. When you do these little things, you do sit there, you do listen to music instead of sitting there in a silent room like I used to do. I mean, I used to sit there literally some nights, all lights off, staring at the ceiling, literally just staring at the ceiling for hour and a half, 2 hours, just sat there, completely engulfed in my own brain, in my own thought processes, the negativity. And I do get lapses. Christ, was in a car earlier on and I got lapsed and I was like, fuck you know what I mean? You get these lapses, but these are what these coping mechanisms are about. I'm not saying your depression is going to disappear. Christ, you know, you might be that way. Like I said, I know I deal with my PTSD. I know I deal with that for life. These coping mechanisms helps, but you know, I don't forget the fact that I'm still on medication. So I know what I'm like when I come off medication. I also am fully aware of the fact that the sun's coming out. So I'm naturally feeling happier because I'm walking around in shorts and flip-flops. And I do this every year. Every year I go through the same rhetoric. I go from March to fucking October. I'm happy as Larry. And then those dark months, I get fully depressed. And when I say happy as Larry, as happy as you can be. Do you know what I mean? But I'm hoping this year's different. I'm hoping nurturing and talking and just being open. And this podcast is driving me because I'm really enjoying it. I'm even thinking about my podcast, you know, all the time, which is really, it's like a really good thing for me. So I'm just nurturing positivity all the time and nurturing, looking after myself, really. And actually, it's that bit is key. You're looking after myself. I'm looking after myself. So you look after yourself. When you look after yourself, instead of just grinding through the world, carrying this sack of depression, whilst trying to smile for all the people around you to try and make their life happy, I've noticed now that I'm actually a better person. I am looking after myself again. I am thinking about weight loss. I am thinking about eating healthy and being healthy. I am thinking about getting my hair cut. You know, all these sort of things. I am thinking about, oh Christ, you know, even today I was like, oh, I could start saving for a tattoo again because I want something new. Do you know what I mean? And that's constant positivity, isn't it? Well-being, though, it's so important. It's not just about being happy. It's about being surrounded by people that are happy. It's about looking after yourself. It's about caring for yourself, making sure you dress nicely when you go out, making sure that you don't just dress in the same gear that you're always dressed in, the same slogs, the same whatever. Actually make the effort. Buy yourself a nice t-shirt, buy yourself a nice pair of jeans or trousers or pair of shoes, whatever. And buy yourself something to make you feel good, bit of jewellery, whatever you want to do. You know, you need to do this. There's no difference between what a woman does to make herself feel good and what we should do to make ourselves feel good. I'm not talking about being, you know, oh God, you're sensitive, mate. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about women like to make themselves feel good because when they feel good, and they kind of get it right, don't they? You know, they go and make themselves feel good so that when they feel good, they're confident, they're positive, and they go out and they just have a good time, etc., etc., or be positive and get promoted at work, whatever they want to do. Men don't do that. Men just go in with the same fucking shirt and tie, day in, day out, grinding, same t-shirt with the same logo on it, day in, day out. God. And then we go home and we're like, fuck it, I can't be arsed. I'm tired. I've been wearing this shit all day. Do you want to do... No, I don't want to do something. Just put some fucking shit on TV. You know what I mean? And you wonder why. It's because you're expected to perform. You're in a high... You know, you're expected to just do this work. Then you're expected to, you know, come home and you know, because you're not talking, because you're not open, not looking after yourself, everyone just goes, oh, fuck it, it's him. Yeah, it's Dave, innit? Dave, he'll fucking do it. Do you know what I mean? Whereas when you come in and, like, you know... You're just a bit more positive. You just kind of go. You take less shit. You just go, fuck you, man. I'm not taking your shit. So it's really important to nurture that positivity. Really important to look after yourself. Well-being is just. It's not just about that. It's about taking the time, knowing when your body. Listen to your body and your mind. When it says it needs a break, it needs a break. I knew today, and I think this is where this flexible thing comes into place. I knew today that was me. I was like, fucking, I feel shit. I don't want to be here. I need to go out. The sun's shining. I need to fucking go down and I need to get my hair cut. I need to feel good. And I did. And I felt good. All right. Yeah, that's difficult in some jobs. You know, I appreciate that. But there'll be a point at some time when you can do that. You know, you don't have to just do it that way. There's other ways you can do it. That's just what I wanted to do. But you know, sit there and instead of, you know, you fancy a bit of well-being, just sit there and look for a nice pair of trainers or whatever and order it online and so that you know that they'll be coming the next day. Do something like that and then you're like, that excites you. Bit of positivity. You know, just do something for yourself and make sure you feel good. Make sure you feel amazing. Like, one of my mates, the journey he's on with his weight loss is absolutely fantastic, and it's really inspirational to see him making the effort and taking the photo of him burning his calories every single day. And I think that's incredible. And that's just being nurtured. Like, you know, you see me and my other mate then, we then go, fuck, I need to go to the gym. He's putting in a beast of a sesh. Do you know what I mean? You get to the summertime and he'll be, you know, Slim Tim, and, you know, I'll still be robust Robbie. Do you know what I mean? So it's really important to just be surrounded, but that's surrounding people that just want your good fortune. You know, they want to make sure you're happy, because if he makes sure I'm happy, I'll make sure he's happy, which in turn, etc., etc. You get the picture. You get the spider web of where this is going. So I'm going to pop it there, mate. Guys, I think that was amazing. Thank you. I feel really good. I'm kind of in the mood. It's Thursday. Do I have a gin? I think I might. If there's some lemonade, I'm looking at the gin over there, and I'm thinking maybe the gin. Let me know about the music. See if it was. It certainly was for me. A little bit distracting at the start for me. I'm going to be honest, and then I kind of just went all into it. But I don't know about the level of volume, or is it too much? Is it a bit distracting? Trying new things, you know. Let me know. Let me know how it goes. So thank you very much, and thank you for the feedback on my voice and everything else. Yeah, really appreciate it. Loads coming away, and please give me some feedback on the motivational minute. Just something I want to try, really, just because I was like, yeah, sometimes it's nice to just wake up and whenever you're listening to it, that's why it's called. I'm going to keep that logo theme as well, so you know that's like a little bit and a little snippet. See what story he's got today. Let me know. Yeah, so a bit of feedback there, please. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Let me know how the motivational minute went. Music, yes or no. And the other one, I can't remember the other one. Let me know. Give me some feedback. All right. Have an amazing Thursday evening, and yeah, I look forward to talking to you again soon. So take care and look after yourself. Like I said, well-being. Yeah, look after yourself.